Hey there everyone, I am King 5, Meteorologist Adam Claibon. Thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday evening. Hopefully you didn't see much issues with this morning's round of snow, or at least most of you didn't have much issues with this morning's round of snow. It's been a tough forecast, just to honestly say, here over the past few days, trying to track where each of these individual snow bands and these waves of snow are going to track, where it's going to come down heaviest, where it's going to stick a lot more. And just wanted to give a quick explanation. So this morning we had a lot more cold air in place, and that cooled the surface down. And so just like when you would put a scoop of ice cream on top of a very cold piece of pie, it's not going to melt as quickly as it would on a warm piece of pie. So that's kind of what happened. It stuck a lot easier, and then at the same time too, since it was colder, we did get that to stack a little higher, just like when you would maybe stack ice cubes on top of each other. If they're colder and they're not closer to the freezing point, they're not going to compact and melt as much. So kind of a quick explanation as to what happened this morning, and I say all of that to say thank you for being patient with us here over these past few days. We do have another round of snow coming through tonight, more winter weather advisories as well. We're going to get into that, but first I wanted to show you what happened this morning. Amounts ranging from a little over 3 inches, Monroe, 3.2 inches there. Redmond coming in at 2.3, Bothell at about 1.5 inches. Now, we did see some melting here throughout the day, and that's because temperatures did make their way above the freezing point. Check out some of the highs. Lower 40s in Tacoma, Puyallup up to 39 degrees. Colder spots though farther north, where we do have that cold outflow coming from the Fraser River Gap there around Bellingham. 30 degrees. That's it for a high. We stayed below freezing, and we're putting down snow as we speak right now. Here you are. You can see we do have first alert now through Friday morning. That's going to be because of more of these cycles and these waves of snow that will continue to come on through. We'll have one that will be a bit more widespread here tonight into early tomorrow. We'll also have some more of those icy roads that we'll have to battle with again into early tomorrow morning, as well as into Friday morning. And then also we'll keep an eye out for some of these amounts to maybe be higher in a few spots, depending on where we get some of the snow to be a bit more persistent. And another thing too about Friday morning, it is going to be bitterly cold in a lot more spots as we have clearer skies beginning to develop as some of the snow starts to move its way on out of here. Forecast right there, you can see a couple of more first alert days, highs both in the upper 30s. We got those lows, especially early into Friday morning, dipping down into the low 20s. You can barely see it right here, Granite Falls. Some of the snow still on the grassy surfaces there here from what we had earlier into the day, and it didn't really melt a whole lot. What we expect here throughout the night is that the snow will begin to pick up. Temperatures getting much closer to the freezing point here in the city itself. Now, we are going to see some accumulations. We'll see how much of that is going to pile up, but we do think that it could be a bit more on the icy side again for tomorrow morning, because temperatures right now, as of about 7 o'clock here into your Wednesday evening, just above freezing around Seattle. We're at 36, a little warmer down farther south around areas such as Tacoma, 38, 37 in Olympia, but we have the much colder air farther north there in Bellingham and Friday Harbor, where we do have more of that wind coming out of the northeast. And wanted to show you that right there. You can see it coming in from areas out of that Fraser River Gap. You can see it right there. I'm going to circle it for you. Coming out of there, going north and east, and impacting areas not only just across Whatcom County and the San Juans, but also I would say Clallam County too, in the northern parts of Jefferson County. So keep an eye out for that, and definitely dress warm if you're going to be up into those parts here as we head on into tonight and early tomorrow morning. All right, let's continue this on here. As we continue on here throughout tonight, we're going to expect that those wind chills will continue to drop more so down into maybe the single digits across areas there farther north, while we have temperatures farther south here in the more of the 20s and the 30s for our wind chills. Here's radar, and this is what's going to be popping up here as we head over the next few hours. This area of low pressure will continue to spin, and that's going to be making its way closer and closer to Puget Sound. For the time being, we got some of those heavier pockets of snow, some wet, big, fat flakes of snow falling. It looks like eastern Grays Harbor County moving down to Mason County. That's going to interact with more of the foothills there across the Olympics, and that will help to enhance some of the snowfall to go along with that. But you are noticing that we're getting a little more green showing up right there down across areas closer to Olympia, around maybe even Shelter too, to a certain degree, Tumwater, moving up towards Bremerton. We'll see that change over to mainly snow as we head on into the night, but that's something to keep in mind here as we are seeing that area of low pressure track its way farther to the north and to the east. Now, we do have some snow moving across the northern parts of King County, heading into Snohomish County as well. Again, temperatures there are currently above freezing, so no big impacts yet when it comes to any sort of freezing roads. Most of it's still wet, but what we are noticing is northern parts of Skagit County, heading into more of areas across Whatcom County. That's where we are going to see a bit more of those icing conditions. But quick little look at that sail that's heading farther north there, out of King County, up into Snohomish County. Brief little shot of snow for you expected there. Going to show you how that is going to continue to really stick around here as we head into the night. But check out the flow. We do still have that northeasterly wind coming out with this area of high pressure that is out of British Columbia. So that's what's helping to produce some of those colder winds up across areas there near Whatcom County. We're also going to be noticing, too, eventually we'll have a cold weather advisory for the rest of us south of Whatcom County. That will include Skagit County all the way down to the foothills of Pierce County. And you see every area shaded in the light blue. That's where we're going to see some of those temperatures drop down between 15 to 25 degrees, more so late tomorrow night. So Thursday night heading into early Friday morning. Whatcom County, we're still going to see that here later tonight. Now, that's going to be because we'll get more clear skies that start to develop for areas farther to the south. So we'll see that start up at 10 p.m. for the rest of us. Still for us there in Whatcom County, keep an eye out for some really cold temperatures and wind chills in the single digits too as we head on into the night. Another thing to keep in mind too, with this wave of snow tonight, we do have those advisories, fresh batch here until 10 a.m. heading into tomorrow morning, and that includes everywhere here in the lowlands across western Washington. An additional maybe coating to 2 inches of snow will be expected here as we head into the night. So let's show you how that all comes together. Here we are at 10 o'clock tonight. It's starting to pick up steam a little bit at that point, but you can see the spin of the atmosphere as I continue to advance this. As we get past midnight, you can still see that spin in the atmosphere, but there's a line that eventually starts to shape up right over more the Kitsap Peninsula and over areas of King County, and that's into your morning commute as well. So areas right here across more of King County, maybe even southern parts, and that might include for us there in Everett, parts of Snohomish County, down through the Kitsap Peninsula, and even back towards Mason County. That's where we'll keep an eye out for the best chances of seeing more of that accumulating snowfall here as we head on into the night. Temperatures still pretty marginal, something we're keeping an eye out for, but pretty good chance that we'll have some icy areas for tomorrow morning to go along with that. All right, advancing into tomorrow afternoon. 1 o'clock. Here we are back in the upper 30s and lower 40s, so we're melting a lot of what's going to be falling here throughout the night and early into tomorrow morning. And then we see more of those clear skies, so you'll start to notice these temperatures are dropping as we head on into early Friday morning. More 20s around. Wind chills again will be dropping down into the low 20s to perhaps even to the teens around Puget Sound. Definitely the teens farther north across parts of Whatcom County and the San Juan Islands, maybe even a few single digits at that point. Look at this too. Throughout the day on Friday, there's no concern. It looks like we actually get a break on Friday. But then once we head into Friday night, here we are at 7 p.m. We're beginning to see some more moisture coming in from the west, and that will be heading our way and eventually finding its way back here across parts of western Washington. So let's talk about that. That's going to be including areas here across more of King County again, more of parts of the Kitsap Peninsula, and heading on into our areas here closer to Mason County. For this, as we head on into the night, what we expect to see is that we're going to have this area of low pressure move on through heading into Friday night and Saturday. That will help to produce a bit more of that snow, and then that starts to work its way out of here as we go deeper on into the evening. Now, future temperatures. We're expecting those to drop again tomorrow morning. A lot of freezing territory across the region. We'll see those numbers start to bounce back up a little more as we head into the afternoon, back up above freezing, and then we're seeing those numbers back below freezing again as we head on into early Friday morning. A lot more widespread 20s though at that point. And the wind chills, you can see those feel like temperatures are going to be well into the teens farther north across Whatcom County, even Clallam County too, before we start to bounce back heading into Friday afternoon. All right, let's talk about how we really don't see much of a warm-up anytime soon. This is the next 7-day stretch, and you can see highs staying in the 30s throughout that entire time. Normal highs now should be back in the 50s, so we're starting to see our averages climb back up, but not really hitting that 50-degree mark anytime soon. And now is the next 7-day stretch. Now this is looking at the 6 to 10-day stretch that we're expecting heading into the middle part of the month, and you can see maybe getting up into the mid-40s, still going to be about 5 to 6 degrees off of where we should normally be for this time of the year. And to go along with that will be these pretty cold overnights with overnight lows in the 20s and the 30s. All right, tonight dropping down to 28 in Seattle, 29 in Tacoma, 26 in Port Townsend, 20 degrees in Bellingham, and then we'll see highs in the upper 30s to low 40s as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Maybe a little more sunshine by the end of the day. Definitely more sunshine expected as we head into Friday afternoon. It's just we're going to have to deal with those really cold temperatures early into the morning, and you can see beyond that point we do have this system coming through heading into the weekend that will provide another opportunity of seeing some more rain and snow here into the region before maybe seeing more of a dry stretch heading into next Tuesday and next Wednesday. All right, don't be caught off guard tomorrow morning. Give yourself some extra time if you're going to be heading out to work or running any sort of errands, and make sure that you're keeping an eye out for some of those icy areas, especially primarily those bridges and overpasses and some of those elevated surfaces. Okay, everyone, make sure to take care. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon.